Sam Altman's eye scanning identity project, WorldCoin, is dropping the coin and rebranding as World. At their October 17th announcement, they unveiled a new version of their eye scanning orb device. Now with NVIDIA hardware, they introduced passport-based verification as an alternative to eye scanning, and they claimed they've created deepfake detection software. They also said that they have 15 million users, and they're planning to integrate with major apps like FaceTime and WhatsApp. The orb will also soon come to you, rather than you going to the orb. Starting next year, citizens in Latin America will be able to order an orb to their home using a popular food delivery app. This is part of WorldCoin's effort to expand its reach and make iris scanning more accessible. The orb will be delivered to the person's door, they'll have their iris scanned and sign up for the World network, and then the orb will move on to its next destination. World, as an on-demand service, is intended to increase the number of people who can verify their identity using WorldCoin's technology. Now just World. They're also positioning themselves as the "Are you human?" checkers of our AI-filled future. Remember, this is a blockchain project. They dropped the coin, but it's still a blockchain project as far as I understand. There's been no pivot from crypto to identity solutions. They are still happening together. Blockchain is important for identity solutions. So it's a blockchain wallet tied to your biometric data. And in the future, I'm not sure anybody is going to be able to opt out. Like, you'll need to verify that you're human to participate in the metaverse, which is our new economy. The Department of Defense's Joint Special Operations Command is seeking advanced AI technology to generate highly realistic virtual identities. The system would create convincing digital personas with AI-generated faces, videos, voices, and backgrounds, all designed to appear authentic on social media, although they're completely synthetic. The technical specifications in the document requesting the technology require these personas to pass both human and machine verification, with features like 360-degree imaging, varied expressions, and matching environmental audio. The specificity of the 72-hour delivery requirements suggests there's likely a pressing operational timeframe for deploying these capabilities. Emphasis on withstanding social media platform scrutiny implies they're targeting specific platforms' detection algorithms, perhaps even those with the most sophisticated deepfake detection. The requirement for various landscapes and environmental audio suggests this is meant for global operations across cultural contexts. The requirements in the document suggest this isn't for one-off operations, but sustained and possibly concurrent operations. And the detailed technical specifications suggest they've already extensively studied existing AI generation capabilities and know exactly what's technically feasible. The timing of this requirement aligns with the rise of similar capabilities among potential adversaries, suggesting this might be a response in order to level the playing field, because everybody else is already doing it. A new app called Impact is essentially trying to create a coordinated army of social media responders armed with AI-generated talking points. When someone spots a narrative they don't like, they can summon supporters who will flood the comments with pre-written AI responses. They're marketing it as a digital fire department for good people, but it's also orchestrated spam that could give people with the financial means even more power to shape online narratives. Bill Gates makes his case for why digital infrastructure, things like national ID systems and mobile payment networks, is as crucial to modern nations as physical infrastructure like roads and bridges. He points to success stories like India, where digital IDs helped double the number of adults with bank accounts in just a decade, and Estonia, where 99% of government services are now online. The Gates Foundation is putting $200 million behind this push, betting that these digital systems will help poor countries leapfrog old school development hurdles. Some people worry about privacy, but Gates argues on his blog post that good digital infrastructure actually gives people more control over their data if it's done right. Something I keep talking about is like what you do is you get people inured to giving all their data, all of it. Every interaction is a transaction. So your eye tracking goes into your wallet solution. It's all private. But at some point, if you need assistance, you're going to be compelled to reveal that data. And that's where the trouble comes in. So here's yet another article that disregards that. Noom, a weight loss app, has a new feature that creates a 3D model of your body using your smartphone, similar to a DEXA scan, except with your smartphone. And you can do it all the time. It helps track changes in your body composition, especially muscle mass, because did you know that weight loss medications may cause muscle loss as a side effect? Or put in a different way from this LinkedIn post. GLP-1s, this is a quote from this post, this guy's post. GLP-1s are great in driving weight loss, but so much of the weight lost is actually muscle mass. Noom's quote-unquote muscle defense program emphasizes resistance training and protein intake, but we needed a simple and accurate way to monitor lean mass retention.
In front of your phone so that your entire body is viewable. Your entire body should be in view. Move away. Remain in this spot for the remainder of the body mapping session. Make a pose with your feet shoulder width apart and your arms. Spread your feet shoulder width apart. Move to the left.
There's also been a wave of, this is interesting. I kind of want to do it. Obviously not, because I'm curious. I've also seen a wave of luxury premium health memberships available that'll like track 40 billion metrics and put it on a dashboard for you. So what's now being marketed as a premium experience that lots of people are going to want, like that's how you do it. You don't impose it on people. You make it a premium experience, and then lots of people will want it. And then later, when everybody who wants it has it, that'll be a point where like everybody needs it, like cell phones. Like it's an affluent power flex to have a dumb phone. And I made a whole video about this if you want to watch that. And also, if you want to control something, you need to implement a model of what you want to control. Recently, I was scrolling, which I don't do a ton, and I got ads. It must know that I'm into movement, like exercise. So I got an ad that was like for like little exercise videos, like an app, and I clicked on it and it sent me immediately to an intake quiz, which was intriguing, which I couldn't resist. So I went through the quiz and took screenshots of the quiz. And it was asking me about like my goals, like what do I want? Like for me, I want to put on weight. So it was asking me about my goals, and I filled out the whole quiz, and then it offered me an extremely affordable like exercise program. So I was like, okay, I will check this out because I'm curious like what the exercises are. And then I just like looked around the app, and there's extensive like meal planning they can do with like any different like way you eat, and that was fun to look through. And then I didn't really use it because I have like lots of other ways I move my body at home or not at home, so I just didn't really use it. But the whole time I had this app, it kept giving me reminders not to work out, which you would think that's what it would give me reminders about, but to log my meals. It just like was so hungry for my dietary data. Here are just some examples of notifications I received over like a very small, like just a few days. Because I would receive multiple reminders a day. Not that it's like clearly also designed not to talk to me based on the intake, but just like a thing that's set to like barrage me with reminders no matter what. Log your meal now to see your calories. Have veggies for dinner. Carrot emoji. Vitamins are essential. Don't forget to log them. Bon appetit. Pancake emoji. Make sure to log your breakfast. It's easy to forget to log your lunch. So here's your little nudge. Wink emoji. Knock knock. Kind reminder to log your dinner. Broccoli emoji. Log your dinner. Dinner emoji. Something in a pot emoji. Wrap up your day with a healthy meal. Good morning. Sun emoji. Log your breakfast to keep track of your calories. If you want to control something, you need to implement a model of what you want to control. Pavlok, you may have seen it on Shark Tank, is a wearable device that uses a small electronic shock to help you break bad habits and form good ones. It also has a silent alarm that can shock you awake. There are many different styles of devices you can wear. This makes me think of the meditation headbands and how that could shock you as a prison. So if you want to control something, you need to implement a model of what you want to control. I once saw a wristband that uses your DNA, or proposes, it might have been just a concept, uses your DNA to help nudge you towards better shopping choices. So now that all the 23andMe DNA is out on the black market, my imagination produces a scenario where your DNA is clandestinely known and your wristband nudges you to make choices that actually keep you at suboptimal health. How's your Monday? Did you hang out in the middle of nowhere brewing on power dynamics and feeling brain fog until afternoon, evening when things got a little more interesting? The sun squares Pluto Tuesday morning, so that explains the light agonizing over matters of domination. This is the sun's closing square with Pluto. The sun's annual conjunction with Pluto happened on January 20th of this year at 29:59 Capricorn, the very absolute end of Capricorn. And it happened about 25 minutes before the sun moved into Aquarius on the same day that Pluto also moved into Aquarius. This closing square occurs in the same place, basically, at 29, which that isn't, being at the same degree isn't all that crazy with Pluto's retrogrades, but this is about a month before Pluto moves into Aquarius for good in our lifetime. Pluto has moved in and out of Aquarius a couple times over the past 2 years, and now Pluto will transit Aquarius solidly, not being anywhere else, for the next 2 decades. So the axial alignments of Pluto with the Sun, and the Sun being leadership, so this is Pluto contacting a more sinister type of leadership, the directing of things under the radar. So the conjunction was January 20th at 29:59 Capricorn. The opening square was April 21st at 2:04 Taurus and Aquarius. The opposition was July 22nd at 0:52 Leo, and this closing square, Tuesday, October 22nd at 29:40 Capricorn. Think about these dates, January 20th, April 21st, July 22nd, and October 22nd, in regards to geopolitics. And bring me your findings in the comments. The conjunction in January and this closing square had more to do with tying up loose ends in the past, while the opening square and the opposition were more concerned with setting up or preparing for the future. And Saturn rules time, so Capricorn is the past. Aquarius is the future. Pluto often has to do with things that go on in the shadows, dynamics directing events, but whose designs aren't overt or readily apparent. So we could also probably safely assume that these dates are concerned with plot points that aren't outwardly apparent. So while you might be able to anchor these things to things happening in the world, there's probably more important stuff going on under the hood that we can't possibly know about. Today, I was talking about Tuesday that whole time. Today is the Sun also moves into Scorpio, since Mars is in Cancer for part of the Sun's transit of Scorpio this year. I'll point out that in the northern hemisphere, this time of year was typically when farm livestock, meaning animals, meaning God's creatures that we raised for the purpose of killing them, but maybe they don't understand that, are betrayed, slaughtered for their meat. I eat meat, by the way. This is a great way to get the gist of Scorpio, though. I have my problems with agriculture and livestock. We all have to survive, and sometimes it's competitive. Agriculture, by the way, is Saturn ruled, so also ruled by a malefic, but the slaughtering part of it is Mars. Interesting that agriculture is not really presided over by the moon. It's opposed by the moon. The moon has a closer correlation with hunting, a different kind of eating animals. The Sun will be in Scorpio until November 21st, and Mars will be in and out of the sign of Cancer for a while. So Mars will be in Cancer this time until November 3rd, and then Mars will be in Cancer again from the beginning of January 2025 through mid-April 2025. So the second half of Tuesday is likely to be aggro, or at least full of vigorous activity, or vigorous scrutinization, interrogation maybe, with the Sun now in Scorpio and the Moon applying to Mars in Cancer, which goes exact in the middle of the night. The Moon does make some pit stops, first trining Saturn and Mercury, so activity and possibly tempers will likely increase Tuesday evening. Wednesday is likely to feel unusual with the Moon applying to a sextile with Uranus for most of the day. So whatever was set off on Tuesday night could lead to an exciting or unsettling new developments Wednesday. The Moon checks in with the other outer planets Wednesday evening before moving into Leo late Wednesday night. So Thursday will feel different from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday because we have the Moon in Leo now, and the first part of Thursday seems fun, light, and energetic, with the Moon in Leo applying to a trine with Venus in Sagittarius. The second part of Thursday potentially signals a breakthrough of some kind, but also a little questionable or dangerous because the breakthrough concerns Mars in Cancer, making a sextile to Uranus and Taurus. So something could literally break. Whatever happens to that also leads to what could feel like an interrogation or some other conflict between feeling good and being seen, and some investigative dynamic, which carries over into Friday morning, but lifts pretty quickly, as the first part of Friday is concerned with the Moon in Leo making a sextile with Jupiter and Gemini. The first part of Friday is lighthearted and kind of all over the place, and the second part of Friday could, again, lead to something surprising or upsetting, with the Moon applying to a square with Uranus. All night long. Saturday and Sunday again feel different from the rest of the week. More about the details of how things function and getting organized. Saturday feels simple, although there could be a more sinister or complicated feeling as an undercurrent, with the Moon in Virgo ruled by Mercury in Scorpio. And there could be some conflict between wanting to go out and explore and needing to stand and organize your postage stamp collection and explore your inner world. Sunday is more of the same as Saturday. The beginning might feel heavy, or just extremely down to earth, in a way that has potential to be constructive, with the moon in Virgo opposing Saturn in Pisces. I keep saying I don't mind this particular flavor of moon Saturn opposition because I feel as though the moon in Virgo and Saturn in Pisces are both in neighborhoods that are just slightly contrary to what they're about, like contrary to their nature, but not necessarily lacking dignity. And so they're both trying to do similar things with complementary skill sets, and they can help each other, even though it could still feel heavy. But that happens in the morning, and most of Sunday is just the moon applying to a square with Jupiter, which could be fun, but you could also use that wind at your sails to prepare for next week, which is a busy week. And remember, your Wi-Fi is a camera that can see through walls.